August 1st, 1966. What started as a normal, sunny day on a vibrant college campus turned into a nightmare. A lone gunman climbed to the top of the University of Texas Tower and began shooting indiscriminately, trapping innocent civilians below. This was one of the first mass shootings in American history, a day that would leave 14 dead, 31 injured, and a nation forever changed. August 1st, 1966, a sunny, peaceful day at the University of Texas in Austin. Students are walking to class, some chatting with friends and others enjoying the summer heat. But by noon, this campus would become the site of one of America's first mass shootings, a day of terror that would change the nation forever. This is the story of the Texas Tower sniper. The man behind this tragic event was Charles Whitman. At just 25 years old, Whitman was a former Marine, an Eagle Scout, and a student of architectural engineering. But beneath this promising exterior, a storm of inner turmoil brewed. Whitman was known as bright and disciplined, but those close to him began to notice troubling signs: anger, violent thoughts, and a sense of helplessness. Whitman even sought help from the University Health Center, where he confessed having violent fantasies about hurting others. Unfortunately, his warnings went unheeded. The day began with a horrifying act. Before heading to the university, Whitman murdered his wife, Kathy, and his mother, Margaret. He left notes expressing his twisted reasoning. He wanted to spare them from future shame. These were the first signs of the horror to come. Before going to the university, Whitman said a few words which were as follows: "I don't really understand myself these days. I'm a victim of many unusual and irrational thoughts." Whitman arrived at the university with a small arsenal. He carried rifles, shotguns, pistols, a machete, knives, and over 700 rounds of ammunition. By mid-morning, he made his way to the 28th floor of the tower. At 11:48 a.m., Charles Whitman opened fire from the observation deck, turning the university campus into a war zone. His first victims were an unsuspecting pregnant woman, Claire Wilson, and her boyfriend, Thomas Ekman. For the next 96 minutes, Whitman rained bullets on innocent people. He targeted students, professors, families, and even passers-by on the streets below. The victims had no idea where the shots were coming from. They scrambled for cover behind cars, trees, and anything that could shield them. The Austin Police Department was caught off guard. This kind of attack had never happened before. Officers lacked the training and equipment to deal with a sniper at such a high vantage point. In the midst of chaos, everyday citizens stepped up. Armed civilians grabbed their rifles and began shooting back at the tower, trying to pin Whitman down. Their bravery helped save lives and buy time for the police to act. 3 brave police officers, Houston McCoy, Ramiro Martinez, and Jerry Day, along with civilian Alan Crum, made their way to the top of the tower. They knew the odds were against them, but they pressed on. At 1:24 p.m., Whitman was shot and killed, ending the rampage. But the damage had already been done. In total, 14 people lost their lives that day, and 31 others were injured. The Texas Tower shooting left the nation in shock. It was one of the first mass shootings in modern American history, and it raised urgent questions. How could this happen? Could it have been prevented? An autopsy revealed that Whitman had a brain tumor pressing against the part of his brain responsible for emotions and behavior. Some experts believe this might have contributed to his actions, but others argue that his mental health issues and life stressors were the primary causes. This tragedy was a turning point for America. It changed how law enforcement responded to active shooters. It sparked debates about gun control, mental health, and campus safety. It also reminded us of the courage of those who stood up in the face of terror, the police, civilians, and even the victims who fought to survive.